There was a humongous reveal for the storyline in Black Ops 6 Zombies and none other than the actual trailer for the map Reckoning, because they showed us something in this trailer that completely throws a wrench into every major theory anyone has had throughout all of Black Ops 6 Zombies, and I cannot believe not more people are talking about it. It really is that big. Now, as usual with storyline videos, I love to hear your guys' thoughts and theories on everything we talk about throughout this video, and this one's really going to need it. So head down to that comment section, let me know what you're thinking about it, and hey, while you're down there, you might as well drop a like, subscribe, and even hit the bell. But with that said, let's talk about the story of Reckoning. So what is this groundbreaking thing that was revealed to us that changes absolutely everything about the story? Well, what that is that the SAM AI orb and the Forsaken containment orb are two different orbs. They are not the same one. And for many of you guys, you already know the significance of that fact alone. But for the people who don't know, we have to give a little bit of context. And we have to go all the way back to Cold War. Because in Cold War, towards the end of that story, it was pretty much revealed that the main enemy we were fighting was this all-powerful Dark Ether entity known as the Forsaken. He's so powerful, he took over the entire Dark Ether, a Dark Ether that was ruled over Dark Ether entities for millennia before him, but he became that powerful, like godlike powers in there. But of course, he couldn't be satisfied with just having the Dark Ether, he also wanted the regular world and its reality. And this led to the events in the final map in Cold War, which of course was called Forsaken. And in the boss fight to that, we fight the Forsaken himself. But the interesting thing about this is that we just don't kill the Forsaken in that story. No, instead, Richthofen has to get greedy with power like he always does, and he wanted to capture the essence of the Forsaken. So when we defeated him, he was captured in this very same orb. And then it was flown away, and that's all we knew for a while. But then fast forward to the reveal of Liberty Falls, we see an intro cutscene, and at the very end, we see a containment orb that looks very, very similar to the one that we saw in Forsaken, except now the SAM AI had overtaken it. Thus, we assumed the SAM AI had all the powers of the Forsaken, or at least the essence of the Forsaken. Now, obviously, if we look at it, it doesn't look exactly like the one we saw in Cold War, but it looked pretty similar, right? It seems like a lot of us just assumed that they just did a slight redesign for Black Ops 6, and that's all that was. It's still the same thing at the end of the day. And I mean, can you blame us for thinking this? Just look at the rest of the Liberty Falls intro cutscene. It seemed like the SAM AI took over this orb and then was able to start an outbreak and even puff Richthofen away. And so many theories and explanations for why things were happening in this story was explained because of this fact. But that's all thrown away now, because when we got the trailer for Reckoning, we saw for a couple frames none other than the exact containment chamber that captured the Forsaken. It looks exactly like the one from Cold War, distinct from the one that the SAM AI is currently using. So these are two different orbs, which is insane because everyone assumed that the SAM AI just had the power of the Forsaken, and like I said, so many theories were built upon this. For example, a really big theory for this is that how the zombie outbreaks were even happening, because just like the characters were questioning in Terminus in their conversational quotes, they said, "I thought that Samantha Maxis sacrificed herself so there wouldn't be any more outbreaks," yet here they are again. So how are they happening again? Well, I mean, like I said, everyone just assumed it had to be something that had the power to do that, and we thought the essence of the Forsaken, and who did we think had control of that? That was the SAM AI. So we thought the SAM AI was behind all of these outbreaks, and when our characters questioned her on it, she just kind of played dumb, we thought. But now we see that she doesn't have control over that containment orb. She's in her own little orb of her own. Now, that's not to say she doesn't have any powers at all, because we know at least that she probably is the one who puffed Richthofen away, but it's still not the power of the Forsaken. And honestly, maybe we should have noticed this, because keep in mind, like I said, the Forsaken is like an all-powerful being. I mean, sure, we beat him kind of easy in Cold War, but like in the story, he's supposed to be like super powerful. And if she had the power of the Forsaken, why did she need our help? She could have been doing whatever she wanted. And more importantly, like kind of a big thing is that Why was there zombie outbreaks where our characters were going? Because keep in mind, after the events of Terminus, our characters go to Citadel and they're already on board with the Sam AI's plan to get the Sentinel artifact. Like, they're already doing her bidding. So why would she start zombie outbreaks exactly where our characters were if they're already going to help? And it really is like that, because keep in mind, in the intro cutscene to Citadel de Mor, there is no zombie outbreak at first, but it isn't until our characters arrive that a zombie outbreak starts. So logically, it would make sense that this is someone who's trying to prevent our characters from doing something, not someone who is working with our characters. But before I get too much ahead of myself, I do want to at least leave the possibility out there that the Sam AI could still be causing the outbreaks by maybe its own power, because it has its powers because it's based on Samantha Maxis, and Samantha Maxis had Dark Ether powers, or maybe she does actually have control over the Forsaken Orb and she's just accessing it remotely, and that's why she isn't as powerful as you would think. Potentially, it could be an explanation like that, but I feel like that would be pretty weird. Like, why would you introduce a new orb for the Samantha AI to be in when there's just another orb right here that she could just have the power over from the get-go? Like, it just seems a bit weird, that sort of explanation, but I don't know. But this does beg the question, if it is true that the Sam AI does not have the power of the Forsaken, then who the hell has been causing the zombie outbreaks? And why are they so targeted at just our characters, and also just Liberty Falls as a whole? Well, if we assume it's not the Sam AI, I mean, there really only is one more explanation that we at least could think of for now. I mean, maybe there's something secret in the background like the Shadowsmiths or something like that, but then I guess maybe this could be the Shadowsmiths too. But the only other character that's been kind of lurking in the background is whoever is in the Dark Ether talking to Pericles Panos. Remember Panos? He betrayed us at the end of the Liberty Falls Easter egg. Well, he wasn't working alone. He was talking to someone in the Dark Ether, someone directing him around. And who's to say that Panos wasn't already talking to this person before the outbreaks happened? Maybe, in fact, Panos is the one who helped these outbreaks start. I mean, it's never really been explained how he got trapped in the Dark Ether to begin with, so maybe whenever he caused the outbreak, he got trapped in the Dark Ether, but then had to be freed, and that's when the strike team came in and swapped places with him. And I mean, would you look at that? Guess who's also expected to be on this map? None other than Panos. And he's always been lurking in the background, and more than him, who's been lurking even more is whoever he's doing the bidding of. And who that could be? I mean, I made a video on it in the past, but we really don't have any idea. All we know is that it's someone who at least at one point knew Richtofen, but Panos refers to him with male pronouns, so it's not a woman, you would assume. But that's really all the major hints we have on him. But finally, maybe with this map, we will get an explanation for what's really going on with these zombie outbreaks, and more importantly, what's even going on with this Forsaken Orb. Has it just been sitting here doing nothing the whole time, or what's really going on? But regardless though, that's going to wrap it up for this video. And as always, as I said at the start of the video, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts, theories, and ideas on everything going into Forsaken, especially with the zombie outbreaks and Panos and whoever he's talking to. These are the biggest questions now going into this final map. But regardless though, I really appreciate you guys all watching, especially to this point if you guys are still watching. But regardless, I'm going to go, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.